Hi, hello everyone. It's a bit of a stressful time, isn't it? So, my name is Rachel Garrett. Hello, most of you will probably know me because this is just a little video I'm doing for local folk and anybody really who knows me on Facebook. So, Rachel Garrett, I am a respiratory physiotherapist, so I specialise in looking after people with heart and lung problems. But I also normally, not now, see people at home and try and help them breathe better, move better, basically be more active. And I help people, well, it's about quality of life, to be able to get out of the house more, to be able to do things at home more easily. So I thought, because this is such a stressful time and a weird time really, I think, a weird and a sad time, that I would do something and put it out there, and it's something that you can look at, you can watch it, and then you can do the exercises that I'm going to show you in your own time. The way, the structure of this program, this video that I'm going to do, will be a couple of minutes warm up, 5 or 6, maybe 7 exercises for strengthening. And then, because I tell you what, I've been feeling really stiff, so then I'm going to add a stretching routine at the end of the program. And I think that even though I'm really lucky, I've got a treadmill at home and I've been using it, but my neck's getting stiff, my back is feeling achy. So the stretching routine I'm going to add in at the end will be helping us look after our flexibility. Now, every single exercise that I do, I promise you, there will be an adaptation if you are more disabled. This is not for Ironmen. This is not an Ironman program. This is a program, a routine that you will be able to do at home, however disabled you are. And if there are some exercises that you find uncomfortable, well, you can just leave those out. I'm going to be including exercises for your legs, your arms, and some balance and coordination work. And then we'll do some strengthening. So that's the program, that's the plan, okay? And like I say, this isn't exercise along with me, but I'll be showing you the exercises and the adaptations, and you can do them yourself. First of all, we need to warm up. Warming up is just about moving your muscles, moving yourself around, ready to start working your muscles. So I'm just doing some simple marching on the spot. Funny thing about marching on the spot is it looks like obviously it is a really simple exercise, but do you know what it's involving? Right now I'm using my arms. My arms are telling my heart, there's proprioception in my arms that are sending signals to my heart and my lungs to work harder. Funny, arms are amazing. Moving your arms is an incredible thing for your lungs, isn't that weird? Because it tells your lungs to breathe more deeply. I'm moving my legs, they're getting stronger. I'm using some core muscle activity. I'm using my back muscles because I'm standing up, and I'm standing up nice and straight. And I'm working on my balance because actually that's a balance exercise. So, marching on the spot, simple, really easy. For some of you, marching on the spot might be too difficult. You may need to use this fabulous piece of exercise equipment. I tell you, this is super exercise equipment. Marching on the spot, just holding on to something, just to keep yourself safe. Now, I'm going to add in a little bit extra now. We're going to do some side steps. I won't add the arms in yet. Side steps, that's quite hard. 1, 2. All we're trying to do here is just warm up. Feel a little bit warmer, have the muscles just a little bit active. Now, we can bring in the arms. I'm in my lovely home. I would have done this outside, but we're actually not having the greatest of weather, which isn't really that much of a problem at the moment. So, arms and legs, arms and legs, arms and legs, arms and legs. Now, I feel, I've only done a minute or 2, I feel my heart is beating harder, I feel I'm a little bit more out of breath. For some of you that will be too much. So you can march on the spot in the chair. Maybe don't have such a creaky chair as I do. Let's see if I go back a bit more, you can see what I'm doing. There we go, marching on the spot. Bring your arms in. We're just trying to warm up. You can do this when you're at home watching TV. It's little exercise. Look at all the body parts that are moving. Feet are moving, my legs are moving, my arms are moving, my wrist is moving, everything's moving. Now, let's go to the side. Da, da. I've got my waist going now, I'm using my tummy muscles, I'm using my abductor muscles here, I'm using different muscles now to do this movement. Shall we bring the arms in? So, you can warm up in the chair if standing is too much for you. Okay, let's get back up. Right, so, shaking it all out. Let's see, that was probably a couple of minutes. Yeah, 2 minutes of warm up. Okay, good, right. Now, what we're gonna do now is move into the next part of the video. The first bit I'm gonna work on is strengthening exercises. We're gonna use the body as resistance, as the weight. So the weight of our body most of the time will be our resistance. So we're doing resistance exercise for strengthening. When I do some arm work, I am going to use some weights. I've got a kilo weight here. Nice, really light. This is too light for me. I've got a 3 kilo weight here. This is better. A 4 kilo weight would be even better, but I haven't got it. How do you know whether the weight that you're using is enough for you? Well, it's very simple. After you've done 10 or 12, your arms should start to feel a bit, really, it's quite hard to use this. If it feels like that, it's the right weight. If it feels, oh my goodness me, I can't possibly lift another thing, then you're really working your muscles hard. And that's great, that's not a problem, but that might not be what we want to be doing at the moment, because we want to be doing this exercise routine every day. I'll give you the weekends off. This one you can see is far too light for me because I could go on all day like this. However, you might be thinking you haven't got any weights at home. Well, I've now got another kilo weight. There are other makes, other brands of rice are available. So, I'm working with a kilo. If a kilo is too hard, good old tin of beans. Tin of beans. That's about half a kilo. It's way too much, little for me. So, that's what I'm thinking when we do some resisted exercises, we'll be using those. At the moment, we're going to work on the body, using the body as resistance. The reason I'm really focused on strengthening exercises is that one of the things that happens when you move your muscles is that it sends signals to the brain to get the lungs and the heart working faster. But also, when we work on muscles, we release chemicals into the body that are anti-inflammatory. It's one of the reasons that exercise is so beneficial for heart and lung problems, for cardio, because they're inflammatory problems, and exercise keeps the inflammation down. The doctors might give you steroids and steroid inhaler, and they keep the inflammation down too. But if you can, let's do it with using our muscles. So strengthening the muscles is really important. And one thing we know from hospital studies is that people who are in hospital for bed rest for only a week lose up to 12% of their muscle strength. And it's a real problem in older age, is losing muscle loss. So strength training is absolutely essential whatever age you are. In fact, the older you are, the more essential it is. So here's the first one. Let's see if I stand here. Okay, right, so we're going to do a squat. First of all, just stand with your feet a little bit more than hip width apart. A little bit more than hip width apart. Your feet are facing slightly outwards. You're going to stick your bum out. I'm using my arms out for a little bit of support. And you're going to go down and up. It's as if you're sitting on a chair. You're going to sit on the chair. 1, 2. I know some of you are looking at me thinking there's no way I can do this, but I will show you an adaptation in a minute. 4. Now, what I recommend is that you do all of these exercises in sets. So you should do between 10 and 15 repetitions. 10 and 15. Have a little break. Do some breathing. Breathe in through the nose. Out through the mouth. So the other thing that we're going to be doing in this video is a little bit of breathing exercises as well. Breathing exercises to help manage our anxiety. We'll do that at the end. Breathing exercises to help expand the lungs, help expand the volume of the lungs. So we did the squats. Maybe a lot of you are saying to me, there's no way they can do that. So, favourite exercise equipment again. Let's see. There we go. Just use the chair to help you with your balance. Same position, feet just a little bit more than hip width apart. Stick your bum out and you're going down and up, down and up. If you use the chair, it will help you because it's a balance, because as well as being a strengthening exercise, a squat actually requires quite good balance. So if you're finding it difficult to do the squat, use the chair. If even doing the squat with a chair strikes you as absolutely madness, then you can do the same kind of exercise, the same kind of strengthening in the chair. So, with this exercise, it's called a straight leg raise. You're simply going to, let's see, right, okay, straighten the leg. Now, what I want you to do is pull the foot towards you, because that increases the contraction of this muscle, the quadriceps. But it hurts a bit, it hurts your hamstrings a bit. But it doesn't hurt your hamstrings if you just bring your leg down a little bit. So you just slide down a little bit. And then your hamstrings are released. So you pull your foot towards you, strong contraction in your quadriceps. If you can, lift the leg up off the chair. If you can't, don't worry. One, sorry, okay. Always do extra if you lose count. 2, 3, if you can, lift it off the chair. 4, we'll do 10 of it, we'll do 12. 5, because I need my exercise too. 6, 7. I'm breathing out as I do the hard part. I'm breathing out with something called pursed lip breathing. It goes like this. When I do the hard part of the exercise, I go, I don't go, I go, so in, right, okay, so that's pursed lips breathing. So we've done some quadriceps work. We're also going to do some work for coordination. And again, this will involve our quadriceps, but we're going to do a little movement. It's not a hard movement. Yeah, it's just a Bavarian movement. It's a Bavarian dance. Right, now, this one is hard for a lot of people. But look at what a great exercise it is. Arms are going, knees are going, coordination going, and it's an aerobic exercise. You can do this in the chair too, can't you? If you can't manage that, 10 reps of that, well, 15 reps of that, because it's quite easy. Then you go, remember I'm breathing out. Get some tummy exercise here as well. Breathing out through pursed lip breathing. So, most of the exercises that we do in standing can be done in a chair. If you can do them in standing, obviously that will put more effort and therefore more benefit for the body. But you can use this video as a progression. So you start in the chair and then you move up to doing these things in standing. I'm going to do a favourite exercise that I think is probably the best exercise in the whole wide world. And it's sit to stands. Really simple, sit to stands. Fantastic for the heart and fantastic for the quadriceps again. So one of my patients does it, he calls them ups and downs, which I think is a very good term for them. So let me make sure you can see what I'm doing. I'm simply sitting on my chair. I'm going to fold my arms. I'm going to breathe in. Now, I'll do 10. 3. You're going to ask me how fast to do them. Do them as fast as is comfortable, so that when you've done 10 or 15, you feel a little bit out of breath. You're aware you've done something. Now notice as well my chair is slipping back. That's okay. For me, but it might not be okay if you've got poor balance. If you've got poor balance, make sure that the chair is against the wall, okay? So when you do that exercise, it won't fall over, it won't push back, and you won't lose it. That might be too hard for you. There are ways to make that exercise easier. The first way is to use a higher chair. The higher the chair, how can we make our chair higher? I'm going to put a cushion on it. I'm putting the cushion on the chair, I've made the chair a little bit higher, the angle of my legs is a little bit different, and now it's just that much easier to do that exercise. So if it's too hard to do it, get a higher chair or raise the chair with a pillow. If it's too hard still, use a chair with arms, but just try and only lightly use the arm when you stand up. We use sit to stands as a prognostic test in rehabilitation programs for frail elderly. It's a super exercise for strengthening and an aerobic exercise as well. And again, all it needs is our fabulous chair. Okay, so we've done quite a bit of work on the quads. So I'm just going to have a little... I want us now to think about our calves. I've got big calves. The reason that calf exercises are really good is that when the blood goes around the body, it's the pumping of the calf muscle, you can't see me, hang on. The pumping of the calf muscle that is bringing that, keeping that blood going up and round, up and round. And if you've got dodgy veins, this is a fantastic exercise to help improve the blood flow around the body. One of the things that you might find with inactivity is that your legs are getting a bit swollen down the ankles and around the bottom of the legs. And if so, that really is an inactivity thing. That's what we get, if we've been flying or something or sitting for too long. So this exercise, all I'm doing is up on my toes and down. Now, that takes quite a bit of balance. If you can do it, fantastic. If not, just give yourself a bit of a balance on the wall, something to support you. Back straight, tummy in and up. And with the breathing, breathe in and out. Okay, so you're going to do 10 or 12 of those, 10 to 15 of those. You're going to have a little rest, and then you're going to do another 10 to 12, and then you have a little rest, and if you can, and I would advise it, do another set. So what we really always want to be trying to do is about 10 to 15 repetitions, 2 or 3 sets of those repetitions. 3 is ideal. So I'm feeling like I've done some work. I'm feeling like there's a bit of activity going on. The next one, this is fantastic exercise. Now I'm going to use a weight. I'm going to use light weights for this because I just want to get a little bit of strengthening going here. You can use your rice or you can use your beans. And if you've got weights, fantastic. This is all about getting the muscles at the back to work. The muscles that support our back and make our back nice and straight. Well, we're so often hunched over like this. And the thing is, with sitting a lot, like we all are at the moment, that's going to get worse. This is like a rowing exercise. 1, 2. I'm squeezing my scapula together. 3, 4, 5. The movement is about the scapula. It's not really my arms, it's the scapula. It's a rowing movement. Any rowers out there will probably tell me this is an appalling technique, but there you go. It's a rowing movement. Squeezing the back of my muscles. Squeezing the back of the scapula together. Squeezing. And after you've done that, without a shadow of a doubt, you stand better. It's amazing. It's such a great postural exercise. It's such a fabulous exercise for posture. So, we've done the rowing. We need to do something for the biceps. We need to do something for our arms. Like I said, the arms are really important. With arm activity and arm muscle movement, we send signals to the brain to make the heart and the lung work harder. Actually, the arms are surprising. When we used to have patients who were very, very ill and in bed, we would do arm exercises with them, and you would see that would increase their breathing, even though they weren't doing it themselves. It's something to do with the actual movement at the joints, stimulating breathing and heart work. So arm movements are really important. The first one we're going to do is specifically for the biceps. Actually, biceps. Oh, I need a stronger weight for that. I need heavier weights for this one. Right, okay, so I'm in this position. I'm just going to go up and down, up and down. Full range, up and down, up. Try and keep full range, because what we're aiming for here is joint mobility as well as muscle strengthening. Some people end up doing that, and that's fine, but they're working a different part of the muscle there, and they're aiming for a different thing. I want joint mobility and muscle strengthening. Okay, so you've got those. You can obviously do those in the chair as well. We need to get this muscle. We need to get this muscle going. It's hard to get that muscle. That muscle does that action. The triceps does that action. Everybody goes on about our bingo wings. It's that exercise. It's that exercise up there. This arm, the shoulder is up. And I'm going up like that. Up like that. Now I'm going to use a weight. You can use your beans or your rice. Up. 1. Cool, that's much harder. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm trying to keep this one up. 9, 10. That's hard. Right, okay. Don't forget to drink your water. Don't forget to keep yourself hydrated. So I've got some water here. When you're doing any exercise routine, keep yourself nice and hydrated. Okay, then, so what we've done there is we've done strengthening for the calves, we've done strengthening for the quadriceps, we've added in, there was definitely some core activity going on, and we've done some biceps and some triceps work. Yeah, we could do hamstrings as well, but that's enough to keep you going. Those little exercises. I've got one more, and it's for balance. So this is not a strengthening exercise, it's a balance. In studies looking at how to prevent falls in elderly, an 8-week program of balance, strengthening and posture exercises has proven to reduce the rate of falling. So this is a balance exercise. Of course it is, I'm standing on one leg. Now I can stand on one leg quite comfortably. I can even do funny things like have my arms in and things like that. But that's going to be hard. It gets harder naturally as you get older. I won't tell you now, but we've actually got age matched values for how long you should be able to stand on a leg. But if you can stand for more than 15 seconds quite comfortably, then you're doing well. But a lot of you won't be able to, so that's fine. Hold on. Now, you're standing on one leg, you're balancing, get your balance. Can you take your hand away? Can you take your hand away? Can you take your hand away? Practice balance exercises at home, because good balance is what's going to stop you falling. Good balance is essential to us being able to walk. If you think about walking, every time we walk, we're on one leg. So good balance is what's going to help us maintain our posture, reduce our risk of falling. If standing on one leg is very easy, try it with your eyes closed. Much harder, let me show you. I can still do it. I've got my eyes closed, you can see. Now it's harder. Now it's harder. Ah! So always make sure you're somewhere safe. Make sure you're near a wall or something like that when you're doing your balance exercise. But it is a great exercise to do, it really is. Right, so we've done balance, we've done strength. What we now need to do is some stretching. Like I said, I don't know if I said it. I'm getting a bit achy. I'm doing as much exercise as I can. I've got a treadmill, I'm very lucky, and I'm on that every day. It never saw much action before, but it's getting used now. But I'm achy. And I haven't been doing any stretching, so I need to do some stretching. I'm going to do most of the stretching in the chair. Some simple things, just moving our neck. Oh, I can hear mine creak as I do it. Creaking's not bad, by the way. If your neck creaks, that's not a problem. If your knees crack when you do exercises, It's usually just a sign that there's air popping in the joints. If you've got pain as well, don't push into the pain, just go to the point of the pain. And as you do the repetitions, and I can tell you this, I'm doing it myself, as you do the repetitions, you find that it becomes less painful. And I'm going to go down, and I'm going to go up. I do have a dodgy neck, so I am feeling this, but funnily enough, my neck is only dodgy because it's got a bit of arthritis in it, and movement is the best thing you can do for an arthritic joint because it helps release synovial fluid, and synovial fluid is the lubricant for our joints. So when we move the joints, we release synovial fluid. And if we don't move the joints get stiff. Now this side, so that's ear to shoulder, ear to shoulder, ear to shoulder. Now, you're going to take your arm, just give that a little stretch. Stretching improves flexibility, and it also releases hormones that make us feel better, make us feel calmer. Stretching has an effect on the brain, and studies have been shown that people who do regular stretching, so things like yoga and Pilates, regular stretching activities, do actually have improvements in cognitive function after a period of 6 months of doing these regular activities. When you stretch, don't bounce. Bouncing isn't good. But just stretching to the point of a little bit of discomfort, not too much, not pain, just a little bit, so you can feel that stretch. So that's neck, and then that one, and then you're going to do this one. You're going to take your hand, get it down as far as the back as you can, and then use this hand, the other hand, just to give it a little pull. And with stretches, I'd say do 2 or 3 and hold them for 30 seconds. 20 to 30 seconds, hold each stretch. Okay, now I need to stretch my back. I don't know about you, but I need to stretch my back. I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to go up, up, up. I'm going to breathe out and go to the floor. Yeah. So again, breathe in and out. I'm going right down to the floor as much as I can. You might not be able to get all the way to the floor, but that's fine. Just stretch over as much as you can. Move your arms out a little bit to increase that stretch, and put your head down with it and exhale. So, I would like to do a quad stretch. Quad stretch is very, very important. Quad stretch is difficult to do in a chair, and you really do need to do it standing. So, I have to do a lot of quad stretch because I get achy legs. I also suffer with restless leg syndrome, and this quad stretch is the best thing I can do when I get restless legs. So I'm going to grab my foot, I'm going to put it behind my back and bring my hip forward. That's brilliant for me. Now, for some of you that's going to be far too hard. If you're wearing trousers, grab the trouser leg and just pull it up as much as you can. Just pull it up as much as you can. And finally, I'd like to do a hamstring stretch. Again, that's a little bit difficult to do in a chair. So just do what you can, find a nice wall. The front leg goes forwards, a little bit bent, and the back leg is going down. You can see me. There. So my front leg is forward, my back leg is straight, and the heel is on the floor. And I'm stretching into my hamstrings. And honestly, it feels wonderful. You can tell I'm not doing it enough. This is really, I think, the stretching is something that I've actually got to start doing a lot more of, because this inactivity is meaning that I'm just not using my muscles, my tendons and my joints as I do normally. I normally do quite a lot of walking and other things. And finally, we're just going to do a little bit of breathing. And then I promise I'll let you go. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you find it useful. I hope nobody's suffering too much out there. I know we are incredibly privileged to have a nice home to self-isolate in and not to have to worry about money too much. So, breathing through your nose. Let your tummy come out as you breathe in so that you're using your diaphragm. So one hand there, breathe in. And you can sigh it out. As you exhale, a long exhalation reduces the heart rate, reduces breathing rate, and it reduces anxiety. There's plenty of breathing exercises out there on the net that are fantastic. Most of the time, you just think about breathing out for longer than you breathe in. So a good one is to breathe in for 4, hold it for 3, and breathe out for 5. So I'll go in for 4, hold it for 3 or 2, and out for 5. Always try to make the breath out longer than the breath in, and try and give yourself a couple of seconds of hold. Relax your shoulders and now, like I said, my name is Rachel Garrett. You can find me on Facebook under Rachel Garrett. You can also find me on my Facebook page, Better Breathing for Life. And you can email me on Rachel Garrod, RACHEL GARROD with the number 1 at gmail.com. My telephone number is on my Better Breathing for Life Facebook page, so you can get hold of me there. I am available for Skype treatments and stuff like that, but that is really genuinely absolutely not the purpose of this. This is just about something that might help friends and folks out there. Just give them something that's actually something they can do that isn't an Ironman program, because I'm not an Ironman trainer and I'm not going to be. All right, well, just stay safe and we'll look after yourselves. Really do. Okay, bye.